resisting the casteist force of ABVP, the administration and the entire state apparatus. Even this will caste took away from him. He wrote, "The value of a man was reduced to his immediate identity and nearest possibility, to a vote, to a number, to a thing. Never was man treated as a mind, as a glorious thing made of stardust, desperate to start a life. All the while, some people, for them, life itself is a curse," he concluded. Rohith Vemula's dream of becoming a science writer like his idol Carl Sagan ended abruptly at the altar of caste.
Rohith Vemula was not the first person we lost at the altar of categorically discriminated against, despite his bright academic record. Of the 12 students who have been institutionally murdered like this in HCU since 1970, 9 have been killed in just the last 15 years. This is not a phenomenon restricted to HCU alone. Central universities of this country have become dreadful nightmares for the students of marginalized communities, where the right to live with dignity is perennially challenged.
Baba Saheb Ambedkar emphasized the importance of higher education, as he felt that only higher education could provide critical thinking and moral strength for people to stand up against caste prejudices. This prophetic hope of Ambedkar has become a source of agonizing anxiety for the Hindutva brigade. Professors openly refuse to supervise or even engage with Dalit students, especially if they are politically assertive. They have discovered in neglect, exclusion and harassment the perfect tools to humiliate students without ever risking accountability. This is the reality of our universities and Indian society that Rohith's murder exposed.
What Rohith's institutional murder clearly depicts to us is that none of these deaths were accidents. They were not unforeseeable tragedies. Instead, they are the direct culmination of the inherent cruelty of the structures we inherit. They remind us of the collective casteist conscience of this country, its Brahminical core, and the injustice it afflicts on those who dare to challenge them. They remind us that nothing urges the Hindutva brigade as a self-respecting community determined to blow up these structures of dominance. They remind us that the structures that killed Rohith are still alive and well. This is what we remember when we remember Rohith.
Any direction you like, caste is the monster that crosses your path. You cannot have political reform, you cannot have economic reform unless you kill this monster, said Baba Saheb Ambedkar. In these institutional murders, we see the acute monstrosity of caste and its insatiable this monstrosity. He will shake us up in our moments of complacency. When caste crumbles to dust, he will live as one among those who cast the biggest stones against it. When we remember Rohith, we stand together as sons and daughters of Ekalavya, as descendants of Shambhuka, as brothers and sisters of Rohith, Dr. Payal and Dr. Anita. When we remember Rohith Vemula, we remember the loftiness of the ideals of Baba Saheb Ambedkar, the righteousness and the moral urgency of this battle, and our vow to win it for him. Ours is a battle, Baba Saheb Ambedkar said, not for wealth, not for power. Ours is a battle for freedom, for reclamation of human personality. The regulation be implemented transparently without any lapse.
We will now begin the event with songs of resistance by our cultural team.
Dear friends, we are going to sing a Odia song. It's a resistance song. ଆମେ ଦଳିତ ଆଦିବାସୀ ଆଜି ବୋଲୁ ରେ ସତେ ବୋଲୁ ରେ ଛାତି ଭିତରେ ଜୋଏ ଆଜି ଜଲେ ରେ ଆମେ ଦଳିତ ଆଦିବାସୀ ଆଜି ବୋଲୁ ରେ ସତେ ବୋଲୁ ରେ ଛାତି ଭିତରେ ଜୋଏ ଆଜି ଜଲେ ରେ नहीं मागी थई कार धन के नहीं मागी थई कार बंगला नहीं मागी थई कार बंगला नहीं मागी थई कार धन के नहीं मागी थई कार बंगला नहीं मागी थई कार बंगला अमर जीवन परांत में सारी देल रे छाती भितरे जोए आजी जले रे आमे दलित आदिवासी आजी बोलो रे सते बोलो रे छाती भितरे जोए आजी जले रे केन शहरे घर बनामो केन पहाड़ पाइन पीमो केन पहाड़ पाइन पीमो केन शहरे घर बनामो केन पहाड़ पाइन पीमो केन पहाड़ पाइन पीमो आमो डंगर झरना पानी तमे नेल रे छाती भितरे जोए आजी जले रे हमें दलित आदिवासी आजी बोलो रे सते बोलो रे छाती भितरे जोए आजी जले रे आमर ताकत नहीं जानी बारूद के रे नहीं चीनी बारूद के रे नहीं चीनी आमर ताकत नहीं जानी बारूद के रे नहीं चीनी बारूद के रे नहीं चीनी आमे जली गले सबू जाली दे मोरे छाती भितरे जोए आजी जले रे आमे दलित आदिवासी आजी बोलो रे सते बोलो रे छाती भितरे जोए आजी जले रे छाती भितरे जोए आजी जले रे छाती भितरे जोए आजी जले रे थैंक यू
చీకట్లో వెన్నెలవై వెలిగిపోతావా వేములా రోహితు దారి చూపుతావా వేములా రోహితు చీకట్లో వెన్నెలవై వెలిగిపోతావా వేములా రోహితు దారి చూపుతావా వేములా రోహితు చీకట్లో వెన్నెలవై వెలిగిపోతావా వేములా రోహితు దారి చూపుతావా వేములా రోహితు చీకట్లో వెన్నెలవై వెలిగిపోతావా వేములా రోహితు దారి చూపుతావా వేములా రోహితు బండారు దత్తాత్రేయ వామన రూపమిదిరా
బండారు దత్తాత్రేయ వామన రూపమిదిరా
బండారు దత్తాత్రేయ వామన రూపమిదిరా
బండారు దత్తాత్రేయ వామన రూపమిదిరా
మనుషులను బలి చేసేటి బీజేపీ వాదమురా
మనుషులను బలి చేసేటి బీజేపీ వాదమురా
బలి చక్రవర్తి లాగా బలి అయినావా వేములా రోహితు మోసపోయినావా వేములా రోహితు
చీకట్లో వెన్నెలవై వెలిగిపోతావా వేములా రోహితు దారి చూపుతావా వేములా రోహితు
చీకట్లో వెన్నెలవై వెలిగిపోతావా వేములా రోహితు దారి చూపుతావా వేములా రోహితు
చీకట్లో వెన్నెలవై వెలిగిపోతావా వేములా రోహితు దారి చూపుతావా వేములా రోహితు
మానస్ఫూర్తి రానిది ఆడ జన్మనుకుంటే
మనుస్మృతి రానిది ఆడ జన్మనుకుంటే
మనుస్మృతి రానిది ఆడ జన్మనుకుంటే
మనుస్మృతి రానిది ఆడ జన్మనుకుంటే
మనసు మమత అన్ని కలిపి చూపిస్తాదనుకుంటే
మనసు మమత అన్ని కలిపి చూపిస్తాదనుకుంటే
దళిత బిడ్డల పైన సవితి తల్లి ప్రేమ చూపే మనుస్మృతి రాణి పురిటి నొప్పులు తెలుసా మనుస్మృతి రాణి
చీకట్లో వెన్నెలవై వెలిగిపోతావా వేములా రోహితు దారి చూపుతావా వేములా రోహితు
చీకట్లో వెన్నెలవై వెలిగిపోతావా వేములా రోహితు దారి చూపుతావా వేములా రోహితు
చీకట్లో వెన్నెలవై వెలిగిపోతావా వేములా రోహితు దారి చూపుతావా వేములా రోహితు
కాషాయం రంగు నిన్ను కర్కశంగా చంపే
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 నీలి రంగు ఉండద్దని నీళ్లు చల్లబట్టే
నీలి రంగు ఉండదని నీళ్లు చల్లబట్టే
ఆ నీలి రంగు నీళ్ళల్లో నా పోది వృక్షమయ్యే వేములా రోహితు నీడనిస్తావా వేములా రోహితు
చీకట్లో వెన్నెలవై వెలిగిపోతావా వేములా రోహితు దారి చూపుతావా వేములా రోహితు
చీకట్లో వెన్నెలవై వెలిగిపోతావా వేములా రోహితు దారి చూపుతావా వేములా రోహితు
చీకట్లో వెన్నెలవై వెలిగిపోతావా వేములా రోహితు దారి చూపుతావా వేములా రోహితు
మెస్సులో మాతో కలిసి పువ్వ తింటున్నట్టు
మెస్సులో మాతో కలిసి బువ్వ తింటున్నట్టు
షాపు కాములోన నువ్వు చాయ్ తాగినట్టు
షాపు కాములోన నువ్వు ఛాయ తాగినట్టు
షాపు కాములోన నువ్వు చాయ్ తాగినట్టు
షాపు కాములోన నువ్వు ఛాయ తాగినట్టు
షాపు కాములోన నువ్వు స్తూపమైనవా వేములా రోహితు తిరిగి రారా బిడ్డ వేములా రోహితు
చీకట్లో వెన్నెలవై వెలిగిపోతావా వేములా రోహితు దారి చూపుతావా వేములా రోహితు
చీకట్లో వెన్నెలవై వెలిగిపోతావా వేములా రోహితు దారి చూపుతావా వేములా రోహితు దారి చూపుతావా వేములా రోహితు
దారి చూపుతావా వేములా రోహితు
జై భీమ్.
JB everyone. The song we are going to sing is Chukkallo Kekkiremo Sakkanayelu. The song has been written by Kalekuri Prasad. When the song has been written in particular context when there was a massacres happened in Sunduru and Karamchedu and Kanchikacharla. In remembrance of these people, Kalekuri Prasad has written the song and singer is Adappu Prakash. Chukkallo చుక్కల్లో చుక్కల్లో కెక్కిరేమో చక్కనయ్యలు చుక్కలైపోయిరేమో చక్కనయ్యలు
చుక్కల్లో కిరేమో చక్కనయ్యలు చుక్కలైపోయిరేమో చక్కనయ్యలు
నా కంటి పాపలు నా కడుపు పేగులు నే కన్న కొడుకులు నే కన్న కొడుకులు చుక్కల్లో చుక్కల్లో చుక్కల్లో
కెక్కిరేమో చక్కనయ్యలు చుక్కలైపోయిరేమో చక్కనయ్యలు
నా ఊరు కంచికచర్ల నా కొడుకు కోటేశు నా ఊరు టంగుటూరు నా బిడ్డ ఇందిరమ్మ నా ఊరు కారంచేడు నా బిడ్డ దుడ్డు రమేషు నా ఊరు చుండూరు నా కొడుకు అనిల్ బాబు నా ఊరు కంచికచర్ల నాయన్న ప్రసాదు నే దళిత మాతనే నే దళిత పల్లెనే చుక్కల్లో 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 కెక్కిరేమో చక్కనయ్యలు
చుక్కలైపోయిరేమో చక్కనయ్యలు
గద్దెనెక్కి కులుకుతున్న పెద్ద కుల మంత్రులారా నా కడుపు శోకాన్ని డబ్బుతో కొనగలరా మళ్ళీ నా కడుపు మండి కొడుకుల్ని కంటాను చంపకుండా ఉంటామని గ్యారంటీ ఇస్తారా సచినా ఊరుకొను చంపినా మానుకొను కొడుకులతో పాటు నేను కత్తుల్ని కంటాను మీ కంట పడకుండా కాపాడుకుంటాను పౌరుషం పాలిచ్చి వీరుల్ని చేస్తాను నే దళిత మాతనే నే దళిత మాతనే చుక్కల్లో 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 కెక్కిరేమో చక్కనయ్యలు చుక్కలైపోయిరేమో చక్కనయ్యలు చుక్కలైపోయిరేమో చక్కనయ్యలు. జై భీమ్.
Now, I invite our esteemed guests to garland the portrait of Rohith Vemula and Baba Sahib Ambedkar and join us on the stage. Radhika Amma, mother of Rohith Vemula and a symbol of hope and resilience. Chandrashekhar Azad. Chandrashekhar Azad, the president of AZAD SAMAJ party. KAKI MADHAVA sir, retired IAS officer. Miss Avanthi, victim of honor killing. And JOBY Joseph sir, associate professor at the Department of Neural and Cognitive Sciences, are all here.
Rohith Vemula! Johar Rohith Vemula! Johar Dr. B.R. Ambedkar! Johar Dr. B.R. Ambedkar!
Our first speaker this evening is Miss Avanthi. Miss Avanthi is the partner of late Hemant Kumar. Hemant fell victim to caste killing at the hands of Avanthi's parents. Avanthi's family was unhappy with her marriage due to Hemant's caste and conspired, abducted and murdered him in Sangareddy district of Hyderabad within 3 months of their marriage in 2020. Avanthi's relentless struggle brought her accused family members, including her parents, to justice. Now I invite Avanthi to the dais.
Good evening, everyone present here. I am glad to be a part of the 7th Remembrance meet of Rohith Vemula. And thank you ASA for having me here. Everything is like already said. Coming to my story, I don't think all of you know this. I am a victim of honor killing, and my husband was brutally murdered by my parents and few hired assassins. I'll tell you my story in short. Me and my husband Hemant were in relationship for about 8 years, and we faced many challenges. We overcame all those, and then finally we got married. But my family was not happy with the marriage. They didn't wanted me marrying my husband who was out of our caste. So they conspired. They did not let us live even for 105 days. I think I got married, I was there, we both were together for about 105 days, and then this incident happened. From the day I got married, I started facing so many struggles, and as most of you might be knowing that there would be a procedure which is to be done. Like when you perform intercaste marriage, you'll be called, when your parents file some case or something, you'll have to go sort it out with your parents. That thing happened in our case also. We were called to our nearby police station, and we had a counseling session with my parents and his parents as well. And for this counseling, generally, I think the main family members are called. But from my parents' side, there were 50 to 60 people who did not let my mother-in-law, father-in-law, even my husband come inside. They made all efforts in convincing me, but at the end, I went with my husband itself. And then my father and mother together asked me that, when you don't want us, why do you want the properties which we give you? Then I was like, I don't need anything. I just want you to accept us. Let us live happily. I only asked them that. My father has given me 6 months of time, so that he wanted us to prove that we would be happy together. But as he promised me that he'll be giving me 6 months of time, Within 3 months, they've conspired, they've, what to say, mama, literally embed-badi idi chesinaru anamata. They've kidnapped us from the place where we live. అది కిడ్నాప్ అని అనొచ్చో లేదో నాకు తెలియదు కానీ ఇంటికి వచ్చినప్పుడు నన్ను నమ్మించారు. దేర్ వర్ ఆల్ మై ఫ్యామిలీ మెంబర్స్, ఈవెన్ విమెన్ హూ కేమ్ టు మై హౌస్ టు టేక్ అస్ బోత్ అవుట్. అండ్ మా ఇంటికి వెళ్తున్నామని చెప్పారు, తీసుకొని వెళ్ళారు. వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత మధ్యలో అక్కడెక్కడో సస్పిషన్ వచ్చింది, ఆ రోడ్ ఓఆర్ఆర్ వైపు టర్న్ చేసినప్పుడు. Then we both managed to jump out of the moving car. We came down, we ran for konta distance urikam, పరిగెత్తిన తర్వాత then somehow hired assassins inko car lo వచ్చి they took away Hemant, they left. I managed to escape from there, and then నేను వెళ్ళి కంప్లైంట్ చేయడం and all. After that, all that procedure happened. By next day morning, I got to know that Hemant was no more. They've killed my husband. And దీంట్లోకి వచ్చి చూస్తే కాస్ట్, రిలీజియన్, రేస్, జెండర్ ఇవన్నీ ఎవరో పెట్టినవి అయితే కాదు, మనలో మనం పెట్టుకున్న డిఫరెన్సెస్ మాత్రమే. అవన్నీ అసలు ఏ దానికి పైన పనికి వస్తాయా అని ఆలోచిస్తే దేనికైతే పనికి రావు. అండ్ ఇప్పటి వరకు నాకు కూడా పనికి రాలేదు ఎక్కడ. దట్ ఈస్ నాట్ దట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్. దానికి ఎందుకు అంత ప్రియారిటీ ఇస్తున్నారు, దాన్ని ఎందుకు అంత కన్సిడర్ చేస్తున్నారో తెలియట్లేదు. అండ్ అండ్ ఇప్పుడు నా కేస్ కోసం అని చెప్పి దే హావ్ అలాటెడ్ మీ అ ఫాస్ట్ ట్రాక్ కోర్ట్ ట్రయల్, కేస్ ట్రయల్ నడుస్తుంది కోర్టులో. అండ్ డ్యూరింగ్ దిస్ ట్రయల్ ఫేజ్లో ఏం జరుగుతుంది అని అంటే, ఈచ్ విట్నెస్ ఇస్ ఎగ్జామిన్డ్ ఫార్ అబౌట్ 8 to 9 months. ఎవరికి ఉంటుందండి ఓపిక? ఇప్పుడు ఆల్రెడీ చాలా పెయిన్ అనుభవించి కోర్టులో వెళ్ళి అట్లీస్ట్ అక్కడైనా ఏమైనా జస్టిస్ దొరుకుతుందేమో అనుకుంటే అక్కడ ఇంకెక్కువ బాధలకి గురి చేస్తున్నారు. దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ ఈస్ హ్యాపెనింగ్. అంటే ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ గివింగ్ అస్ దట్ మోరల్ సపోర్ట్ అండ్ ఎన్ని ఎవిడెన్స్లు ఉన్నా ఎంత ఉన్నా ఏదో ఒకటి మారుతుంది అనుకునే లోపు లేదు, అక్కడ ఇంకా టార్గెట్ చేస్తూ, డిఫేమ్ చేస్తూ, హ్యూమిలియేట్ చేస్తారు ఇంకా ఓపెన్ కోర్టులో. ఎంత పెద్ద పెద్ద లాయర్స్ అందరూ నా కేసులో ఉన్నారు, హూ ఆర్ లైక్ వెల్ నోన్ ఫర్ దేర్ ప్రాక్టీసెస్. వాళ్ళందరూ ఉన్నారు, వాళ్ళందరూ అక్యూజ్ సైడ్ ఉన్నారు. దే డి నాట్ కమ్ ఇన్ సపోర్ట్ ఆఫ్ మీ. న్యాయం వైపు వాళ్ళు లేరు, దే ఆర్ అన్యాయం వైపు నించుని ఉన్నారు వాళ్ళు. అండ్ వాళ్ళు ఇంకా చేసిందే తప్పు కాకుండా ఇంకా ఎంత డిఫేమ్ చేయాలో అంత చేసేస్తున్నారు అనమాట. సో ఇవన్నీ కూడా చాలా ఛాలెంజెస్ ఫేస్ చేశాను. ఐ థింక్ ఐ కెన్ రిలేట్ మై స్ట్రగుల్ విత్ రోహిత్ స్ట్రగుల్. అండ్ ఇప్పుడు ఏదైతే రోహిత్స్ మదర్ ఫేస్ చేస్తున్నారో, ఐ హ్యావ్ అ ఉమెన్ ఎట్ హోమ్, షీ ఈస్ మై మదర్ ఇన్ లా, షీ ఈస్ ఆల్సో ఫేసింగ్ ద సేమ్. షీ ఈస్ ఆల్సో లాస్ట్ హర్ సన్, who was the hope for the entire family, who was the earning person for the entire family. That gives so much pain. And నేను నించున్నాను కానీ చాలా మంది విక్టిమ్స్ ఎవరైతే ఉన్నారో వాళ్ళు నించోలేకపోతున్నారేమో. దట్ ఈస్ ఓన్లీ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ ద సిస్టమ్ విచ్ వీఆర్ లివింగ్ ఇన్. And one last thing which I wanted to tell is, I want every one of you to take it as a responsibility. We are all here to pay tributes to Rohith Vemula, right? Yeah. So I want every individual to take it as a responsibility to follow all the values which Dr. B.R. Ambedkar has given us. And I want every one of us to follow those principles and follow all those values which Rohith also believed in, and that is the only way by which we will be able to pay tributes to him. Yeah, Jai Bhim.
Thank you, ma'am. On behalf of the Justice for Rohith Vemula movement, we salute you and we express solidarity with you for your struggle to create a freer and fairer society. Our next speaker is Dr. Joby Joseph. Dr. Joby Joseph is an associate professor in the Center for Neural and Cognitive Sciences, School of Medical Sciences, University of Hyderabad. He was one of the faculty members who had stood with the struggling students during the Rohith Vemula movement, and is still a remarkable emotional support to the student community. Dr. Joby, along with other students, had inaugurated the Rohith Vemula Science Club to honor Rohith's love for science. Under that, he continues to organize activities like bird watching and stargazing in memory of Rohith Vemula. I invite Dr. Joby Joseph.
JB Satyam. So I respected RADHIKA, CHANDRASHEKHAR, KAKI, MADHAVA, AVANTHI, dear friends. So I am briefly going to talk about the situation of the academics and especially STEM, science, technology, engineering in our country, and so what we should be doing, and what things are probably happening around which maybe we should be aware of. So if you look, I don't know whether all of you have seen it, but there was this Nature, which was called How India's Caste System Limits Diversity in Science, written by Ankur Paliwal, and it was sort of following a similar article about racial discrimination based inequalities of representation. Examples where people will actually write in the recruitment statement that people who got seats by reservation need not apply, and there are explicit advertisements like that out there with no punitive measures taken against them. So it's quite a bad situation in that sense. And as you know, as part of dismantling the public sector undertakings where actually these reservation policies actually can make a difference, either because the government needs money or because there is a active planning to dismantle the structures where reservation policies can actually enact some amount of representation. You can see many private sectors being privatized, public sector institutions being privatized. As of now, the education institutions have not reached there, but I have no doubt that we are going there, and the symptoms are very clear in terms of the actual funding coming to the university to maintain. And just this year beginning, we got the letter from the financial management of the university saying that the maintenance amount of the university has been reduced by more than half of the last year, and this has been going on steadily decreasing. So basically there is a dramatic, I think, reduction in the scope of employment where the reservation policies can actually make a difference. And to sort of give a sense of how much is the demand and how much is that is employment takes place. Apparently, according to the Parliament, in last 1 year, the total number of people who employed compared to people who applied is 1% in the government sector. And you already know how Maulana Azad fellowship has been dropped, and EWS has been implemented, which basically takes away the positions available to clearly not economically disadvantaged sections as the cutoff of the income, and clearly excludes people likely to be coming in from economically disadvantaged, which is also simultaneously socially disadvantaged. So all these policies are clearly pointing to a very systematic dismantling of these structures. And so it also tells us that we as a community needs to create structures which make it resilient to these kind of operations. Probably also forming organizations which supplement at this point. And I am happy that we have as our guest Imami Ekta Mission from Chandrasekhar, who actually runs schools in remote places in UP, in villages where access to education has been denied for this community. Another example I can think of is Nalanda Academy, run by Anup, who actually caters to slightly more senior level of education. So I think there are more requirement for more such structures which make the community autonomous of the government, which clearly is trying to dismantle these structures. And another thing is also to plan a little ahead. And I don't know, all of you are aware, there are dramatic shifts, tectonic shifts, I would say, taking place at the technology front. And if you have not come across it, the artificial intelligence systems which are making a remarkable change in their capacities. And previously when computers came in, for example, people thought that, okay, we may need, it will take out labor, but in effect what it actually did was to require you to be trained more. So it generally did not really encroach onto the common person's jobs. But these technologies which are now coming up, if you look at them, they are actually affordable to the common person, so to say, and they are doing things which does not require you to have training. That means it really takes away the jobs in the sense of you don't require to train to use it, so in that sense take away. So it's a very, I would say, very tectonic shift in terms of where we are headed. And so when we are as a community planning together to overcome the difficulties in this kind of a society, we also need to take look forward and take these kind of things into consideration. That's all I have to say. Jai Bhim, Johar Rohith.
Thank you, Dr. Joby Joseph, sir. Our next speaker is Shri KAKI Madhav Rao. Shri KAKI Madhav Rao is a retired IAS officer by profession and a public intellectual. He has served as the Chief Secretary to the United Andhra Pradesh government. He has also served as Warangal District Collector, Union Home Secretary, State Election Commissioner from 1999 to 2004, in the Reserve Bank of India as a Director, and also as a member of Board for Financial Supervision. He has been a very strong support to the Justice for Rohith Vemula movement. He's also known for his work in the literary space. He translated Telugu revolutionary poet Gurram Joshua's works into English. His autobiographical narrative, Breaking Barriers, the story of a Dalit Chief Secretary, was published last year. I invite Shri KAKI Madhav Rao.
Thank you. I remember that night when I got the news from Jhansi. I was waiting for the 2 previous days when this strike from the students in Vijayawada was going on. At the middle of the night, she called me, said, Rohith has committed suicide. So I came down along with her and waited for his mother to come from Guntur. After that, the series of incidents that happened, you all know. Ms. Chandrasekhar was saying what's the stage of the cases filed by the students and cases filed by the people who killed Rohith Vemula. I have been following this both at the district collector level, where the caste of Rohith is being inquired into. Now, when the 5 people who were expelled, they have filed a complaint after his death. They wanted to sort of sabotage that case by saying one of the sections is the cruelty of atrocities Act. That section was put in the complaint. They wanted to sort of disgrace and cheat us of the atrocity of the case. And Vemula's mother is the worst victim of this atrocity. We all feel bad, but the mother's pangs is something which none of us can match. The way she has been shedding tears from the time she arrived here and he murdered. Why is Rohith so well remembered? There were other suicides. You have given out the figures, 9 of them the last 10 years or so, and total about 15. Why was Rohith so unique? The people who started the proceedings read out excerpts of his suicide note. Now that suicide note has shaken not just the university, not the people who are aware of the, not of English literature. A student of science wrote such miraculous poetry, and it was not a poetry, imaginary poetry. It is expressing the atrocities, the suffering, the discrimination, the suppression that's going on and being practiced against us. It is that which made Rohith Vemula so well known out in India, in the premises of this university, but in the world over. There was a reference to my autobiography. It's just been released in November. This is dedicated to Rohith Vemula. Who is Rohith Vemula? Rohith Vemula to millions of other victims of India's cruel, unequal society. Now, how unequal is the society? A few points of data I'll give without taking much time. When we got independence in 1947, we thought, we the people of India give this, not we thought, in the Constitution it says, in the preamble, we the people of India give this Constitution to ourselves. And it says, we the people of India. That means the fruits of independence belongs to all of us, just not a few leaders, a few eminent people, all the people. But what really has happened after that? 2 French economists wrote a paper showing the inequalities of income, how it is varied during the British period and after independence came. They took out the data for 90 years from 1822 onwards, and they found the inequality has been increasing. The British, we fought against British saying that they have been stealing our money, taking away all our money. Now they are supposed to have stolen from India 45 trillion US dollars, which amounts to 358 crores of rupees. 358 crores. Now this Piketty and Lucas, French economist article, studied this inequality, whether it increased after the British left or has come down. Now, in this study they say, they write a paper and the heading of the paper is From British Raj to Billionaire Raj. So you don't have to read the paper if you read the title. We sent away the British by we handed over the country to the billionaires. That's the meaning of that. There are figures for that, but it's enough to say that what is happening is a transfer of power from the British to the billionaires. And what kind of billionaires are there? How much are they stealing since independence, particularly from 1991 when the economic reforms were brought in, thanks to Manmohan Singh, Chidambaram and the then Finance Secretary. That in India, 1% of the richest people own 40% of wealth of the nation. 1% own 40% of the wealth of the nation. 50% people's wealth is just 3% of the nation's wealth. Now, how does this compare with we the people give this country to ourselves? And this is the economic inequality. Now, so far as this untouchability, discrimination is concerned, to which Rohith was one of the worst victims, a brilliant, would have been scientist. Why do we talk about that still, even after the Constitution's days, the untouchability is abolished? Alex Haley, an American Negro, I said, oh, it is visible. And if the tiger's footprint is on the by any other animal. Now, this is what I remembered, and I said, my identity is a Dalit. Of all the identities, my parents were illiterate. I became literate, so I changed that identity. My father was working as agricultural laborer. I became an IAS officer, so I erased that identity. But can I erase my own caste? Because I am born into a caste, and that caste is the footprint of India, permanent, cannot be changed. Now, Arundhati Roy, some of you would have read, one of the greatest thinkers, a bold lady and a fine poet. Her prose is poetry. like Rohith Vemula suicide note. She does a lot of research on Ambedkar after reading The Annihilation of Caste by Ambedkar. And she says, can this caste system in India be ever removed or erased? And in a typical JP.
रोहित वेमुला
जोहार जोहार
रोहित वेमुला अमर रहे
अमर रहे अमर रहे
रोहित वेमुला अमर रहे
अमर रहे अमर रहे.
Thank you, sir, for the illuminating address. Your solidarity for the Justice for Rohith Vemula movements is such a source of strength for us as a movement. Thank you, sir. Now, I invite Iniyavan, a PhD scholar at the Department of Sociology and the ex-president of Ambedkar Students Association, on the behalf of the Justice for Rohith Vemula movement, to update us about the state of the cases the movement is facing in the aftermath of Rohith's murder.
Avanthi ma'am, our constant support, Dr. Joby Joseph, and a source of inspiration, Radhika Vemula. On behalf of Justice for Rohith Vemula movement, I extend my gratitude for your presence here. This fight for self-respect against the caste Hindu norms of discrimination, indignity, and inhumanity started by Rohith Vemula along with Donta Prashant, Seshaya Chemudugunda, Vijay Kumar Pedaputti, and Sunkanna stands strong till this date. Despite the state's oppression, career and financial instabilities, lack of social capital, and immense emotional turmoil, the one thing which has not changed till now is the commitment and conviction of the socially boycotted Dalit scholars of Ambedkar Students Association carried to seek justice for Rohith and for themselves. However, as it has been in the history of Brahmanical suppression, where the victims of caste atrocities were not just denied and delayed from justice, they have rather been criminalized and harassed by the Brahmanical state machinery and the ruling class. Leaders of ASA who were subjected to caste atrocity have been instant summoned constantly over the case filed by the perpetrator himself over false charges. They have been constantly visiting the courts, they have been summoned, and despite their job and career, they'll have to present themselves before the court, and this has been a huge obstacle in pursuing their careers and overall a peaceful life. On the other hand, Radhika Vemula, who stands strong in seeking justice for her son, is forced to prove hers and her son's caste status. And for the past 5 years, herself and her son Raja Vemula have been representing to the Guntur Collectorate, and various representations they have filed, but none of which reply has come or there is any kind of satisfactory progress in the inquiry started by the Guntur Collectorate. So till now she has not just been fighting for her son's justice but also for her son's identity. Apart from the case filed against the members of ASA, there are also numerous other cases filed by the state and the university administration against members of various organizations and individuals who stood as a part of the movement seeking justice for Rohith. This epitomizes the Brahmanical fascist state which has been suppressing progressive voices which have been boldly speaking truth to power. Now there is one single question remaining. Where is justice for Rohith and the 4 socially boycotted Dalit scholars? What is the status of the atrocity case filed against Apparao, Nandanam Sushil Kumar and the other perpetrators? While the victims of caste atrocity and those who stood in solidarity with them are subjected to these extremities, has the state police filed the charge sheet over the atrocity case or even an investigation report? The answer is no. Over the history, we have been only witnessing this blatant failure by the state machinery to provide justice for Dalits, Adivasis, and Muslims of this country. However, the history also teaches us the valor over which Dalit self-respect movement has been built. Like our leader Baba Saheb says, lost rights are never regained by appeals to the conscience of the usurpers, but by relentless struggle. The movement stands committed to face all the legal struggles and see its end till we get our rightful justice. Our struggle not just ends with penalizing the perpetrators, but also by bringing constitutional measures completely implemented so that no other assertive Dalits to a collar will write a letter on solution for Dalit problem seeking euthanasia facilities for students like him. We will fight till Rohith Act is enacted. Baba Saheb says, with justice on our side, I do not see how we can lose our battle. The battle to me is a matter of utmost joy. The battle is in the fullest sense spiritual. There is nothing material or social in it. For us is a battle not for wealth or for power. It is battle for freedom. It is the battle for reclamation of human personality. Sunkana in one of his speeches asks us to come out from fear. The police, administration, Apparao, the whole Modi government can't do anything. We are more stronger than them. Our battle, Prashant's, Seshayas, Sunkanas, Vijay's and Rohit's battle for reclamation of the denied human personality is much stronger than the caste Hindu sense of power, hatred and entitlement. And I do not see how we can lose this battle. I would like to finish my address by especially thanking our faculties who have been a constant and strong support in this long journey of self-respect. Without them, it would have been unimaginably hard for us to pursue the struggle. I thank each and every one of you on behalf of justice for Rohith. Jai Bhim, Johar Rohith.
Thank you, anyone. We salute the commitment of all 4 Dalit scholars and Radhika Amma who continue to fight this battle. Now I would like to invite Radhika Amma. Radhika Vemula became an icon of resistance and resilience for all those who struggle for a life of self-respect. After the institutional murder of her son, despite the excruciating pain of losing her son, she has travelled extensively across the country, not just to seek justice for Rohith, but also for the cause of annihilation of caste. She has stood with the struggling students' communities all over the country. Her words encourage the students not to give up, but fight back. She is still continuing her fight to get justice for her son, murdered by the Brahminical power structures of this country. I invite Radhika Amma.
अम्मा राधिका वेमुला को जय भीम निस्सलाम जय भीम निस्सलाम
I'm sorry, there has been some change in the order of the speakers. I would like to invite Chandrashekhar Azad now.
Chandrashekhar Azad is a lawyer and an anti-caste leader based in Uttar Pradesh. He is the co-founder of Bhim Army and the national president of AZAD Samaj Party. He contested election from the Lion's Den from Gorakhpur constituency against Yogi Adityanath. Following the Ambedkarite ideal to educate oneself, Azad, along with other members of Bhim Army, have been providing education to children from Dalit, Bahujan and minority communities in western Uttar Pradesh. Azad is an anti-caste youth icon symbolizing assertion, valor and self-respect against caste Hindu suppression and has been monumental in preventing and protesting against several caste atrocities, including Hathras violence. Whenever there is injustice in the name of caste, injustice in the name of religion, Azad ensures that despair does not seep in, and he comes to the forefront as a symbol of hope and resilience. On behalf of the Justice for Rohith Vemula movement, we are proud to present to you Chandrashekhar Azad.
जय भीम। जय भीम, जय जोहार, जय भारत, जय संविधान। मैं हिंदी में आपके सामने अपनी बात रखूंगा। उम्मीद है कि मोस्टली लोग समझेंगे। जो लोग नहीं समझ पाएंगे वो ट्रांसलेट करवा लेना मेरे जाने के बाद। हम भारत के लोग ऐसा भारत के कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन की, जो भारत का सबसे बड़ा धर्म ग्रंथ है, उसके प्रेम्बल में लिखा हुआ है कि हम भारत के लोग, लेकिन हमारे होने ना होने से कोई फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता। अगर हम हैं तो भी फर्क नहीं पड़ता, अगर हम नहीं हैं तो भी फर्क नहीं पड़ता। काश फर्क पड़ने लगे। हमारे जीवन की वैल्यू, हमारे सपनों की वैल्यू, हमें भी इंसान समझा जाए। बहुत दर्द है कहने के लिए, लेकिन आज भाई रोहित की शहादत का दिन है। हम अगर याद करें 2016 में आज से पहले का दिन, अगर हम 13-14 की बात करेंगे, जनवरी तो रोहित हमारे बीच थे। रोहित भाई ने क्या सहा, कैसे लड़े, किन लोगों ने साथ दिया, किन लोगों ने विरोध किया, ये आप मुझसे बेहतर जानते हैं, आप उनके साथ के लोग। मैं उन सभी साथियों का धन्यवाद करता हूं जिन्होंने रोहित भाई की इस लड़ाई में, जो अकेले रोहित भाई की लड़ाई नहीं थी, पूरे देश के बहुत सारे इंस्टीट्यूशन में वो बहुत सारे एसटी, ओबीसी और माइनॉरिटी के बच्चे लड़ रहे हैं, उसमें जिन्होंने साथ दिया, मैं उन सबका दिल से धन्यवाद करता हूं। और धन्यवाद करता हूं उन टीचर्स का जिन्होंने अपनी नौकरी की परवाह न करते हुए उस समय एक बड़ा सपोर्ट दिया लड़ने वालों को। मैं दिल से उनका भी शुक्रिया अदा करता हूं। सबरी और तमाम साथियों की वजह से अवसर मिला कि मुझे यहां आके अपनी बात रखने का मौका मिला। मैं कोई अकेला नहीं हूं, मेरे जैसे बहुत सारे लोग इस देश में लड़ रहे हैं और तब तक लड़ते रहेंगे जब तक इस देश में गैर बराबरी पे आधारित ये व्यवस्था खत्म नहीं होती और मानवता का राज स्थापित नहीं होता, तब तक हम इस लड़ाई को लड़ते रहेंगे। आज रोहित भाई एक नाम नहीं है, एक सिंबल है क्रांति का। मैंने उनसे बहुत कुछ सीखा। मैं अपने स्ट्रगल पीरियड में, जब मैंने ये शहादत हुई तो हम लोगों ने प्रोटेस्ट किया और वहीं से हम लोग सॉलिडेरिटी में लड़ रहे थे, लेकिन मैंने उनसे बहुत कुछ सीखा। मेरे जैसे हजारों लाखों लोगों को उन्होंने सिखाया कि अगर स्वाभिमान सम्मान की लड़ाई में बलिदान भी देना पड़े तो उससे पीछे नहीं हटना है। देखो, रोहित हमारे सामने कई रूप में है। जैसे राधिका अम्मा के लिए वो बेटा है, वो बेटा जिसको उन्होंने अपनी खून से सींच के बड़ा किया। दूध के रूप में अपने खून को पिलाकर उसको बड़ा किया और बड़ी उम्मीदों के साथ, बड़े सपनों के साथ। राजा के लिए वो भाई है जो उसकी ताकत है, जिसको उम्मीद है कि कल उसका भाई उसके लिए आने वाले कल में कुछ करेगा। हम में से कुछ लोगों के लिए रोहित दोस्त है, जो एक सपोर्टिव है, समय समय पे मदद करता है। कुछ बहनों के लिए रोहित भाई, कई रोहित, और कुछ ऐसे लोग जो रोहित को नहीं जानते थे, उनके जाने के बाद उन्होंने उसे फाइटर के रूप में एक्सेप्ट किया, जस्ट लाइक मी। शिकायत, क्योंकि आज उनका दिन है, शिकायत नहीं करनी, लेकिन शिकायत ये थी कि काश ये कदम ना उठाते, क्योंकि हमारे जाने से इनको फर्क नहीं पड़ता, तो मिलके लड़ते इस लड़ाई को। हम कॉलेज यूनिवर्सिटी जब जाते हैं, कॉलेज यूनिवर्सिटी से पहले एक छोटे से घेरे में होते हैं, छोटी सी दुनिया होती है हमारी, छोटी सी सोच होती। क्योंकि मैं खुद छात्र राजनीति, कॉलेज यूनिवर्सिटी की लाइफ जी के आया हूं, तो मैंने महसूस किया कि बड़ी सी दुनिया, सोचना, समझना, बोलना, सपने देखने का अवसर हमें कॉलेज और यूनिवर्सिटी में मिलता है। फिर उनको पूरा करने के लिए हम लोग ताकत लगाते हैं, कंपटीशन, बहुत सारी चीजें, और इस डर के साथ कहीं फेल ना हो जाए, ये डर भी लगातार बना रहता है। कुछ लोगों को हमारे आगे बढ़ने से बड़ी परेशानी, क्योंकि जब हम अपने आदर्शों को, महापुरुषों को याद करते हैं, जिनमें अगर मैं डॉक्टर बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर की बात करूं, तो वो कहते हैं शिक्षा श्रेणी का वो दूध है, जो भी पिएगा वो दहाड़ेगा। वो इस बात को एक लॉजिक के साथ कहते हैं, क्योंकि जब हम एजुकेटेड होते हैं, एजुकेशन लेते हैं, तो हम सवाल करना सीखते हैं, हम चीजों को समझते हैं कि कौन क्या कह रहा है और असल में क्या हो रहा है। जैसे आज देश को बताया जा रहा है, हमारे प्राइम मिनिस्टर कह रहे हैं कि हम बड़ी ताकत बन रहे हैं, लेकिन सच ये है कि हम इतने छोटे होते जा रहे हैं कि हो सकता है कल हम दिखाई भी ना दें। सोशली, इकोनॉमिकली हम बहुत नुकसान उठा रहे हैं देश में। तो ज्ञान हमें देखने का एक अवसर देता है और ज्ञान बांटने से बढ़ता है। जिस तरह से हम लोग ज्ञान को लेने के लिए लंबे समय से संघर्ष कर रहे हैं, देखो, जिन लोगों को पढ़ने का अधिकार भी नहीं था, वो आज यूनिवर्सिटियों से टॉप कर रहे हैं, सिविल सर्विसेज को टॉप कर रहे हैं, जिन लोगों को पढ़ने का अधिकार नहीं था। यानी कि बुनियादी रूप से किसी से कमजोर नहीं। लेकिन अगर आप पुराने इतिहास को देखोगे, आजादी से पहले, तो कुछ लेखकों को, जैसे तुलसीदास जी टाइप लोग हैं, उनको बड़ी तकलीफ रही है महिलाओं से, शूद्रों से। उनको वो पिटते लगते हैं, उनको महिला बेबस, लाचारी अच्छी लगती है, वो कमजोर महिला। तो ये सब चीजें करने का मौका मिला हमें एजुकेशन के बदौलत। आज हम लोग अपनी अपनी फील्ड में आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, सब लोग मेहनत आज की नहीं है। पायल ताडवी को हमने रोहित के बाद देखा, डेल्टा मेघवाल को देखा, फातिमा को देखा, नजीब को देखा। हमने सोचा था कि रोहित के बाद ये लड़ाई खत्म हो जाएगी, लेकिन खत्म नहीं हुई। लेकिन रोहित की शहादत से एक चीज पैदा हुई बहुत सारे लोगों में, कि अब वो लड़ रहे हैं, अब वो अपनी लड़ाई को लड़ रहे हैं, छोड़ नहीं रहे, उससे कमजोर नहीं पड़ रहे। अच्छा, मेरा एक अनुभव है, अगर किसी को लगता हो कि सुसाइड करना बहुत आसान काम है, तो ये बहुत बड़ा झूठ। जो लोग कहते हैं कायर लोग सुसाइड करते हैं, ये भी बहुत बड़ा झूठ है। जिसको इसको टेस्ट करना हो, तो छोटा सा कट लगा के देखना है, एहसास हो जाएगा। अपने जीवन को खत्म कर देना एक बहुत बड़ी ताकत और इंसान की निशानी। लेकिन सुसाइड कब करता है आदमी, ये भी समझने की बात है। आदमी सुसाइड तब करता है जब वो नाउम्मीद हो जाता है कि अब उसको कोई न्याय नहीं मिलेगा। आज क्योंकि हम लोग बोलने लगे हैं, सवाल खड़ा करने लगे हैं, तो चुभने भी लगे हैं। वरना बहुत सारे रोहित पहले भी गुमनाम रह गए। एएसए का मैं धन्यवाद देता हूं उन सभी संगठनों का जिन्होंने इस रोहित के जाने के बाद इस लड़ाई को लड़ा और पूरी दुनिया को बताया कि हम जिंदा हैं। देखो, मैंने कुछ पढ़ा है अपने जीवन में और मैंने प्रैक्टिकल दुनिया देखी है, तो मैं चीजों को समझता हूं। लिखा गया कि जिस समुदाय के युवा शक्ति, जस्ट लाइक ये जो मेरे सामने बैठी और मैं खुद, जिस समुदाय का युवा जीते जी उस समुदाय के हक अधिकारों मान सम्मान की लड़ाई नहीं लड़ता, वो समाज पे कलंक होता है अगर वो ऐसा नहीं कर रहा। यानी कि वो जीते जी भी मरे हुए के समान होता है। अगर डेमोक्रेसी नहीं होती तो कोई धूल चाट रहा होता हमारे हाथों। सीरियसली बता रहा हूं, संविधान का सबसे बड़ा फायदा वो उठा रहा है। अगर राजतंत्र होता तो रोहित का ये भाई बताता उसे कि बंगारू दत्तात्रेय की असली जगह कहां है। नजीब का ये भाई बताता कि नजीब के को नुकसान पहुंचाने वाले कहां हैं। लेकिन क्योंकि हम संविधान को मानने वाले लोग हैं, इसलिए भरोसा भी करते हैं संविधान पे कि संविधान हमें न्याय देगा। और कहा गया है कि न्याय हमारा जन्मसिद्ध अधिकार है। कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ये कहता है, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ये भी कहता है कि जाति, धर्म, समुदाय, लिंग के आधार पे कोई भेदभाव नहीं होना चाहिए। लेकिन हो रहा है, सत्ता में बैठे गए लोग कर रहे हैं। न्याय जन्मसिद्ध अधिकार है, लेकिन कहां मिल रहा है बताओ? जिसको न्याय दिलवाने के लिए आज हम लोग यहाँ हैं और लड़ रहे हैं, उनकी एफआईआर तो मुझे बताया साथियों ने कि कहीं है ही नहीं, और जो न्याय के लिए लड़ रहे थे उन पर मुकदमे हैं। यहाँ की सरकार से आज मुझे बताएगा, हम लोग बात करेंगे। अगर वो वास्तविकता में बीजेपी विरोधी होने की बात करती है तो उनको हम लोग प्रयास करेंगे कि वो हमें सुने और ये मुकदमे खत्म करें हमारे साथियों के, जो उनके ऊपर जबरन मुकदमे लगाए गए। और अगर यहाँ की सरकार भी ऐसा नहीं करती तो उनसे भी टकराएंगे हम लोग। फिर हम यहाँ के चीफ मिनिस्टर को भी चैन से नहीं बैठने देंगे अपने घर में। अगर हमारे भाई जिस तरह से परेशान घूम रहे हैं, अन्याय भी उनके साथ हुआ और उनको ही जो है सहना पड़ रहा है। वो कोर्ट में जाते हैं और उनको जो है समन भी आते हैं, लेकिन जिन्होंने किया वो तो खुलेआम घूम रहे हैं। तो हम प्रयास करेंगे, और वास्तविकता में अगर सरकार विरोधी है उस विचारधारा की, जो असमानता की विचारधारा है, तो सरकार को ही खुद से करना चाहिए था। जो मांगे उस समय रखी गई थी वो भी पूरी नहीं हुई। असल में सरकार के लोगों को भी लगा होगा कि ये लोग ज्यादा दिन चिल्लाएंगे नहीं, मगर उनको एहसास नहीं कि वो फल फूल नहीं था, वो बीज था जो पैदा होता रहेगा। और आज पैदा जिंदा है रोहित हमारे बीच में। हम ना रोहित को तब कल मरा हुआ मानते थे, ना आज मानते हैं। रोहित शहीद हुआ, शहीद कभी नहीं मरते, अमर होते हैं। वो हमारे बीच ही है। मेरी आपसे भी कुछ अपील है, इसको भी निकालिए। आप अपने आसपास बैठे हुए लोगों को देखिए कि आपसे अलग है क्या? 2 हाथ, 2 पैर, 2 आंखें, सब कुछ एक जैसा ही तो है। फिर ये ऐसा क्यों कि हम लोग इस डर में हैं कि हम नहीं कर सकते? दुनिया का कोई काम ऐसा नहीं जो हम नहीं कर सकते, हम सब कर सकते हैं। और दुनिया में हमसे कोई बहादुर नहीं है। आज जो कुछ इस देश में दुनिया में तैयार हुआ, लोगों द्वारा तैयार किया गया है। मैं राधिका अम्मा का नाम मुझसे पहले रखा गया, मगर मैं बेटा होने के नाते चाहता था कि राधिका अम्मा का आशीर्वाद हम सबको मिले। मैं भी बैठ के सुनूं जब राधिका अम्मा बोले, जब अपना वो दर्द बताएं हम लोग को। रोहित की शहादत एक उदाहरण है कि हमें जो सामना करना पड़ता है उस लड़ाई को आगे बढ़ाने की देर है। आज देश में अगर ऐसी कोई घटना होती तो चंद घंटों में उसके खिलाफ जो है ना बहुत बड़े बड़े जो हैं विरोध दर्ज होते हैं। जैसे मैं अगर आपको याद दिलाऊं तो अभी हाथरस की घटना आप लोगों को याद है, कास्ट डिस्क्रिमिनेशन की। फिर एक राजस्थान में घटना हुई जहां मूछें रखने पे एक नौजवान की हत्या की, गवर्नमेंट कर्मचारी। फिर एक और अभी लेटेस्ट घटना जहां पानी का घड़ा छूने पे हत्या हुई। अभी उत्तराखंड में एक घटना घटी है, अभी कुछ दिन पहले मंदिर में जाने पे एक दलित समाज के बच्चे को लोहे की सलाखों से पीटा गया, उसकी चमड़ी उधेड़ ली गई। यानी कि आज भी कास्ट डिस्क्रिमिनेशन का सामना हम लोग कर रहे हैं। इसका सलूशन वो जो लिखा हुआ है ना, उसको समझना पड़ेगा, सिर्फ पढ़ना नहीं। शिक्षित बनो, संगठित रहो और संघर्ष करो। मजा तब आए जब हम संगठित होकर संघर्ष करें। मेरी शिकायत नहीं, लेकिन मैं यहाँ इस यूनिवर्सिटी में जो लोग हैं इस विचारधारा जुड़े हुए, मैं उनसे अपील करूंगा कि जहां से क्रांति की शुरुआत हुई है, कम से कम वो लोग तो एकजुट हो जाए और एकजुट होकर लड़े और ऐसा लड़े कि इतिहास आपको याद रखे। यहां बैठे सब लोगों से मेरी अपील है कि जब लड़ाई एक है तो रास्ता एक है, तो हम लोगों को मिलकर लड़ना चाहिए। हमें अवसर नहीं देना चाहिए कि दुश्मन हम पे हावी हो जाए। हमारी कमजोरी का वो लोग फायदा उठा रहे हैं। हमें अपनी कमजोरी को दूर करना है, काबिल बनना है। मगर हमें भूलना नहीं है कि जो हमें रोज टीवी पे दिखाया जाता है कि नहीं कुछ नहीं है, सब अच्छा है, सब अच्छा नहीं है। आपकी कॉलेज यूनिवर्सिटियों पे को बंद करने के लिए सरकारें मौका ढूंढ रही है, क्योंकि उनको आपके सवाल से, आपकी तरक्की से, आपके आगे बढ़ने से डर लगता है। इसलिए वो न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी ला रही है। और अगर आप चुप रहेंगे तो ये आने वाली पीढ़ियों की आदत बनेगी और इसका खामियाजा आपको आने वाली पीढ़ियों को उठाना पड़ेगा। आज हम पे समान अवसर है, हम यहां भी पढ़ सकते हैं और अपनी मेहनत के बल पे दुनिया के कॉलेजेस में भी जाके पढ़ सकते हैं। हमें बोलना पड़ेगा, हमें लड़ना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि आप सब लोग अभी एजुकेशन के दौर में हैं और मेहनत कर रहे हैं, इस उम्मीद के साथ कि और कोई रोहित शहादत ना दे, और कोई रोहित जो है कमजोर पड़ के, निराश होकर टूट ना जाए। इसलिए एकता बना के लड़ते रहिए। 100 दिन बकरे की तरह जीने से अच्छा है एक दिन शेर की तरह जिया जाए, क्योंकि बलि हमेशा बकरों की दी जाती है, शेरों की नहीं। आप जब मैं कोरेगांव जाता हूं ना, तो वहां उस पे बाबा साहब ने कुछ लिखा, ये आपको जानना चाहिए। उन्होंने कहा कोरेगांव कोई काल्पनिक कहानी नहीं है। 1 जनवरी 1818 जब 500 महान योद्धाओं ने 28,000 पेशवाओं को धूल चटाई, तो बाबा साहब ने उस पर कहा, मैं हर वर्ष जाता हूं। पिछली बार मैं एनआरसी सीए के आंदोलन में बंद था, इसलिए नहीं जा पाया, जेल में था तिहाड़ में, इसलिए नहीं जा पाया। तो उन्होंने कहा कि कोरेगांव कोई कल्पना कहानी नहीं है, कोरेगांव हमारे वीरों का इतिहास है, इसलिए कोरेगांव जाके उसको नमन करना चाहिए। और ये याद रखना चाहिए कि हम सिंहों की तरह जिए देश में, और हमें शेर बन के जीना, हमें भेड़ बकरे नहीं बनना है। मेरे पास बहुत सारी डिग्रियां है, पढ़ाई के साथ साथ मेरे पास लोकल जेल की, प्रदेशों की जेल की और देश की सबसे बड़ी जेलों की भी डिग्रियां है। मैंने वहां लंबा समय बिताया, वहां भी इंसान रहते हैं, और वो इंसान इस देश की भ्रष्ट जुडिशरी की वजह से, जो कॉलेजियम सिस्टम है इस देश में, जहां SC, ST, OBC और माइनॉरिटी के लोग नहीं घुस सकते हैं कितनी भी एजुकेशन लेने के बाद, उस सिस्टम की वजह से हम न्याय के दरवाजे पे माथा रगड़ रहे हैं, लेकिन न्याय नहीं मिल रहा है। अभी सर कुछ कह रहे थे, कास्टलेस सोसाइटी, और उन्होंने कहा, अपने शब्दों में कहा कि वो जैसे हाथी के पैर के फुटप्रिंट किसी दूसरे जानवर से मैच नहीं करते हैं, उस तरह से जाति व्यवस्था भी खत्म नहीं होगी। जाति व्यवस्था भी खत्म होगी आपकी आंखों के सामने, और कास्ट डिस्क्रिमिनेशन भी खत्म होगा, और स्वाभिमान सम्मान का जीवन भी मिलेगा, समता मूलक समाज भी बनेगा, इस देश में भाईचारा भी आएगा। लेकिन तब जब जिन महापुरुषों ने ये विचार दिया, फूले, साहू, अंबेडकर, पेरियार, सावित्री, फातिमा, इनके विचारों पे हम लोग चलने का काम करेंगे, और इस उम्मीद के साथ कि हम कुछ करके दिखाएंगे। मैं फिर हैदराबाद वापस लौटूंगा, लेकिन इस बार प्रयास करूंगा जब मैं हैदराबाद आऊं तो जिन साथियों को वो मुकदमों की वजह से परेशानी है, उनके मुकदमे जो है वो खत्म कराने के लिए हूं। मैंने जो वादा करता हूं उसको झूठा नहीं करता हूं। मैं आपसे पूरी जिम्मेदारी से वादा कर रहा हूं अपने साथियों से कि अगर ये सरकार नहीं मानेगी तो इस सरकार भी विरोध के लिए तैयार हो जाए। सबके लिए दरवाजे खुले हुए, हम लोग किसी से नहीं डरते हैं, बट डरते हैं तो संविधान के विरुद्ध में जाने से। आप सभी के लिए मंगल कामनाएं। रोहित भाई जिंदा हैं, जिंदा थे और जिंदा रहेंगे। रोहित भाई की शहादत और उनको न्याय के लिए जो लड़ाई अभी बाकी है उसको भी लड़ना है। जिन लोगों ने बुलाया उनका धन्यवाद। जय भीम, जय भारत, जय जोहार, जय संविधान।
रोहित वेमुला अमर रहे, रोहित वेमुला।
Thank you, Chandrashekhar Azad sir. Justice for Rohith Vemula movement आपके जोश को सलाम करता है और उससे प्रेरणा लेता है. I will now invite Radhika Amma. Along with Radhika Amma, I'll invite Hima Bindu, who is a PhD scholar in communications, to translate Amma's speech.
I am. He spoke to me. He spoke to me. It's not simple.
అందరికీ
It's
జైపీ.
fine.
వేదిక మీద ఉన్నటువంటి ఐఏఎస్ ఆఫీసర్ గారు రిటైర్ అయిన కాకి మాధవరావు గారికి నా కృతజ్ఞతలు. ఆజాద్ సమాజ్ పార్టీ జాతీయ అధ్యక్షులు చంద్రశేఖర్ ఆజాద్ గారికి నా జై భీములు. హైదరాబాద్ సెంట్రల్ యూనివర్సిటీ ప్రొఫెసర్ జోబీ జోసెఫ్ గారికి జై భీమ్ ఎవ్రీబడి. కులహత్యకు గురైన హేమంత్ భార్యకి అవంతికి జై భీములు.
Jai Bhim to the chief guest of the occasion, National President Azad Samaj Party, Chandrashekhar Azad, Retired IAS Officer Kaki Madhavrao Garu, Avanthi, the survivor of caste violence, and Professor Joby Joseph, Faculty, School of Medical Sciences, University of Hyderabad.
2 సంవత్సరాల నుంచి ఇక్కడికి మన కరోనా మూలాన అందరం కలవలేకపోయాము. ఒక స్టూడెంట్ గా ఉండేసి ఇంత పెద్ద నేషనల్ పార్టీని పెట్టి అందరికి ఇన్స్పిరేషన్ గా ఉన్నందుకు ఆజాద్కి నా జై భీములు.
I could not come to University of Hyderabad over the last 2 years because of COVID, but now I am here. I would like to speak a lot, but I am speechless at the moment. But I would like to thank retired IAS officer Kaki Madhavrao Garu, who has been regularly in touch with me and has checked on me over the last few years about my well-being. And I would also like to thank Chandrashekhar Azad Garu, who has here and who started his career as a student leader and is one of the most growing politicians of the nation. Thank you so much.
ఆజాద్ కూడా నాకు హిందీ రాకపోయినా కూడా నాతో నేను కొంచెం హిందీ మాట్లాడతాను. ఆ బాబు కూడా నాతో ఎప్పుడు మాట్లాడుతూనే ఉంటాడు. ఎలాగున్నావమ్మా అని అది అడిగి కనుక్కుంటాడు. పైగా రాత్రుల్లో ఎప్పుడన్నా వాళ్ళ మమ్మీ గుర్తొచ్చినప్పుడు వాళ్ళ మమ్మీకి ఫోన్ చేస్తే వాళ్ళ మమ్మీ ఫోన్ లో టచ్ లేనప్పుడు నాకు ఫోన్ చేసి నన్ను మమ్మీలాగా భావించి మాట్లాడుతూ ఉంటారు. అట్లానే సెంట్రల్ యూనివర్సిటీలో ప్రొఫెసర్స్ అందరూ ఆ రోజు రోహిత్ వేముల మూవ్మెంట్ లో చాలా హెల్ప్ చేసేసి ఈ మూవ్మెంట్ ని కూడా ముందుకు తీసుకెళ్లినందుకు వాళ్ళకు ధన్యవాదాలు.
Azad has always checked upon me during all the times whenever he misses his mother and has not been able to get in touch with her through the nights or something. He has always approached me like a mother and has checked on my well-being and also spoken and has considered me like his own mother.
భీమరావు భీమరావు గారు రాలేదు, కానీ భీమరావు గారు జ్యుడిషియల్ ఆ విషయంలో మాకు చాలా హెల్ప్గా నిలబడ్డారు. ఎప్పుడు మా కలెక్టర్ ఆఫీస్ నుంచి, కలెక్టర్ దగ్గర నుంచి మమ్మల్ని ప్రతి సంవత్సరం రండి, మీరు మీ క్యాస్ట్ని ప్రూవ్ చేసుకోండి అనేసి ప్రతి సంవత్సరం నవంబర్ డిసెంబర్ నెలలో మాకు వస్తుంది ఆ లెటర్ అక్కడి నుంచి. అప్పుడు ఎక్కడున్నా సరే భీమరావు గారు వచ్చేసి మాకు అండగా నిలబడి అదంతా వర్క్ అంతా చేసుకున్నాక ఆయన బయలుదేరి వెళ్తారు. ఆయనకు ధన్యవాదాలు.
I would like to thank all the faculty members of University of Hyderabad who have been with us, with the struggling communities throughout the Rohith Vemula movement, and the important member who is not here, Bhimrao Garu, has always been supportive and has made sure whenever we have gotten a call to check our caste, to repeatedly appear and prove our caste status. We have faced this, we always face this annually during December and January to repeatedly prove our caste status, and he has always been with us through all these years.
ఇంకా ఏఐసి ఈ సంవత్సరం ఏఐసి ప్రెసిడెంట్గా శబరి మహిళా అధ్యక్షురాలుగా గెలిచినందుకు చాలా చాలా ధన్యవాదాలు.
I'm very happy that for Ambedkar Students Association we now have Shabari Rajan as a woman president, and this is an occasion for all of us to
కొన్ని సంవత్సరాలు ఏఎస్ఏ స్థాపించి ఉన్నా కూడా ఇంతవరకు ఏ మహిళా అధ్యక్షురాలు రాలేదు. శబరి వచ్చినందుకు చాలా చాలా హ్యాపీగా ఉంది నాకు. అట్లానే మహిళలందరూ ముందుకు రావాలని నేను కోరుకుంటున్నాను.
Since its establishment, this is the first time there is a female president for Ambedkar Students Association, and this should be an inspiration for lots of women to come forward and participate actively in the political spheres.
ఇప్పటికీ రోహిత్ వేముల ఇన్సిడెంట్ జరిగేసి 7 years కంప్లీట్ అయ్యే సందర్భంలో ఈ ఫంక్షన్ ని ఇంత గ్రాండ్ గా చేస్తున్న శబరి ఆధ్వర్యంలో జరుగుతున్నందుకు చాలా చాలా హ్యాపీగా ఉంది.
Under the able guidance and leadership of President Shabari Girija Rajan, this event has been organized at such a huge scale, and I'm very happy that you all have gathered here to commemorate.
అలానే ఏఎస్ఏ మెంబర్స్ అందరికీ నా జై భీములు మరోసారి.
And Jai Bhim to all the members of Ambedkar Students Association.
ఇంకా రోహిత్ వేముల గురించి మాట్లాడుకోవాలంటే 7 years అయినా కూడా ఇంతవరకు జస్టిస్ రాలేదు, కానీ వచ్చింది త్వరలోనే. ఎవరు ధైర్యం కోల్పోవద్దు, జస్టిస్ అంతా మన వైపునే ఉంది, తప్పకుండా జస్టిస్ జరుగుద్ది.
Justice is on our side. Despite 7 years of relentless struggles, we have not been able to we have not been able to get justice for Rohith Vemula, but we should not lose hope, as justice continues to be on our side, and we will win surely.
మన బహుజనుల దళిత బహుజనుల జీవితాలు బాగుపడాలంటే ఈ స్టూడెంట్స్ అందరూ రాజకీయాల్లోకి రావాలని నా ఆశ. అట్లాగా ప్రతి ఒక్కళ్ళు కూడా రాజకీయాల్లోకి తప్పకుండా రండి, మనమే పరిపాలించుకుందాం మన దేశాన్ని.
I request all, I would urge all the Dalit Bahujan students to come forward and participate actively in politics and be active part of political life. We need to rule our own country, and it is the Dalit Bahujans who need to rule this country.
ఈ దేశంలో ఎస్సీ ఎస్టీ బీసీలు మైనార్టీస్ అందరం మూలవాసులు. మనం వీళ్ళు ఈ అగ్రకులాల మూలవాసులు కాదు, వాళ్ళు ఎక్కడి నుంచో వచ్చిన వాళ్ళు పరిపాలించడం ఏంటి, మన దేశాన్ని మనమే పరిపాలించుకునేటట్లుగా మనం చేసుకున్నాము. ఆ బాటలో మనం నడుద్దామనేసి నా ఆశ, నడవాలనేసి పిల్లలందరూ కూడా.
Dalit Bahujans are the longest community of this country, and all the upper caste communities are what we call as outsiders who have come into this country. So we Dalit Bahujans should take lead and rule this country.
మీరు రాజకీయాల్లోకి పిల్లల స్టూడెంట్స్ ఎందుకు రావాలని అనుకుంటున్నారంటే, ఆ రోజు రోహిత్ వేముల ఇష్యూ జరిగినాక ఢిల్లీలో మనం 11 రోజులు ఉన్నాము. కానీ ప్రతి ఒక్క బీజేపీ వాళ్ళని తప్పితే ప్రతి ఒక్క ఎంపీని ఎమ్మెల్యేని దాదాపు కలిసాం మనం. ఎందుకంటే మన ఈ రోహిత్ వేముల ఇష్యూని, ఈ క్యాస్ట్ డిస్క్రిమినేషన్ ని మన పార్లమెంట్లో అక్కడ వాళ్ళ వాయిస్ ద్వారా వినిపించాలనే ఉద్దేశంతో మనం అందరం కలిసాము. అందుకని మీరందరూ కూడా రాజకీయాల్లోకి వచ్చారనుకోండి, మనం ఒకళ్ళ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళి కలిసే పని లేదు, ఒకళ్ళని ఆశించే పని లేదు. మనకై మనమే మాట్లాడుకోవచ్చు, మనకై మనమే పాలించుకోవచ్చు పరిపాలన.
During the Rohith Vemula movement for 12 to 13 days, we visited almost every MP and MLA in Delhi, barring the few BJP MPs then. And then I have realized that if we ourselves from our communities, the Dalit Bahujan communities, manage to create leaders and have them in leading positions in the political parties and in the parliament, then we do not have to go for any other help for any other from any other members. So our representatives will be sitting there in the parliament and talking about our issues.
రోహిత్ వేములను స్మరించుకుంటున్న ఈ సమయంలో కుల వివక్షకు గురయ్యి ప్రాణాలు విడిచిన ఇంకొంతమంది విద్యార్థులను మనం గుర్తు చేసుకోవాలి తప్పకుండా. పులియాల రాజు, మాదారి వెంకటేష్, సెంధిల్, రష్మి రంజన్, సూర్యవ్రత వీళ్ళందరూ కూడా కుల వివక్షతో యూనివర్సిటీలో చనిపోయినలే కదా. అంటే ఎంత పిహెచ్డి స్టేజ్ కాడికి వచ్చేసి మారుమూల ప్రాంతాల నుంచి, పల్లెల నుంచి పిహెచ్డి దాకా వచ్చేసి పిల్లలు చంపబడితే ఆ తల్లిదండ్రుల పరిస్థితి ఏంటి? అసలు బీజేపీ వాళ్ళకి కానీ ఈ అగ్ర కులాల వాళ్ళకి కానీ ఎవరు పట్టరు, ఎవరు ఎట్లా చచ్చిపోతే మేమే బతకాలి, మేమే చేయాలనేసి పరిపాలిస్తున్నారు అనమాట వాళ్ళు. ఇవన్నీ కూడా మనం తీసివేయాలంటే ఈ స్టూడెంట్స్ మొత్తం రాజకీయాల్లోకి రావాలని నా ఆశ.
In this occasion, when we remember Rohith Vemula, we also need to remember other students who have been institutionally murdered in this very university, like Puliyala Raju, Madhari Venkatesh, Rashmi Ranjan Suna, Sendil Kumar, who have come from remote villages across India, left their homelands and have come here to study and have faced brutal caste violence and which has led to their institutional murder eventually. And this is an occasion to remember them and their struggles as well. And nobody seems to be bothered about the lives that are lost. The BJP does not care. So I'm repeatedly urging the young people who are sitting here and the young population of the country to join active political life.
ఇక్కడ యూనివర్సిటీకి వచ్చినాక నాకు ఒక విషయం తెలిసింది. కేరళలోని కేఆర్ నారాయణ కాలేజీలో గత 40 రోజులుగా విద్యార్థులు కుల వివక్షకు వ్యతిరేకంగా పోరాటం చేస్తున్నారంట. ఆ విద్యార్థులకు నేను పూర్తి మద్దతు తెలియజేస్తున్నాను. వారితో పాటు నేను కూడా కేరళ వెళ్ళి అక్కడ ధర్నాలో పాల్గొంటానని ఈ సభాముఖంగా ప్రకటిస్తున్నాను.
I stand in solidarity.
ఆ బాబు కూడా నాతో ఎప్పుడు మాట్లాడుతూనే ఉంటాడు, ఎలాగున్నామమ్మా అని అడిగి కనుక్కుంటాడు. పైగా రాత్రుల్లో ఎప్పుడన్నా వాళ్ళ మమ్మీ గుర్తొచ్చినప్పుడు వాళ్ళ మమ్మీకి ఫోన్ చేస్తే వాళ్ళ మమ్మీ ఫోన్లో టచ్ లేనప్పుడు నాకు ఫోన్ చేసి నన్ను మమ్మీలాగా భావించి మాట్లాడుతూ ఉంటాడు. అట్లానే సెంట్రల్ యూనివర్సిటీలో ప్రొఫెసర్స్ అందరూ ఆ రోజు రోహిత్ వేముల మూమెంట్లో చాలా హెల్ప్ చేసేసి ఈ మూమెంట్ని కూడా ముందుకు తీసుకెళ్ళినందుకు వాళ్ళకు ధన్యవాదాలు.
Azad has always checked upon me during all the times whenever he misses his mother and has not been able to get in touch with her through the nights or something. He has always approached me like a mother and has checked on my well-being and also spoken and has considered me like his own mother.
భీమరావు గారు రాలేదు, కానీ భీమరావు గారు జ్యుడిషియల్ ఆ విషయంలో మాకు చాలా హెల్ప్గా నిలబడ్డారు. ఎప్పుడు మా కలెక్టర్ ఆఫీస్ నుంచి, కలెక్టర్ దగ్గర నుంచి మమ్మల్ని ప్రతి సంవత్సరం రండి, మీరు మీ క్యాస్ట్ని ప్రూవ్ చేసుకోండి అనేసి ప్రతి సంవత్సరం నవంబర్ డిసెంబర్ నెలలో మాకు వస్తుంది ఆ లెటర్ అక్కడి నుంచి. అప్పుడు ఎక్కడున్నా సరే భీమరావు గారు వచ్చేసి మాకు అండగా నిలబడి అదంతా వర్క్ అంతా చేసుకున్నాక ఆయన బయలుదేరి వెళ్తారు. ఆయనకు కూడా ధన్యవాదాలు.
I would like to thank all the faculty members of University of Hyderabad who have been with us, with the struggling communities throughout the Rohith Vemula movement, and the important member who is not here, Bhimrao Garu, has always been supportive and has made sure whenever we have gotten a call to check our caste, to repeatedly appear and prove our caste status. We always face this annually during December and January to repeatedly prove our caste status, and he has always been with us through all these years.
ఇంకా ఏఎస్సీ ఈ సంవత్సరం ఏఎస్సీ ప్రెసిడెంట్గా శబరి మహిళా అధ్యక్షురాలుగా చాలా చాలా ధన్యవాదాలు.
I'm very happy that for Ambedkar Students Association we now have Shabari Rajan as a woman president, and this is an occasion for all of us to
కొన్ని సంవత్సరాలు ఏఎస్ఏ స్థాపించి ఉన్నా కూడా ఇంతవరకు ఏ మహిళా అధ్యక్షురాలు రాలేదు. శబరి వచ్చినందుకు చాలా చాలా హ్యాపీగా ఉంది నాకు. అట్లానే మహిళలందరూ ముందుకు రావాలని నేను కోరుకుంటున్నాను.
Since its establishment, this is the first time there is a female president for Ambedkar Students Association, and this should be an inspiration for lots of women to come forward and participate actively in the political spheres.
ఇప్పటికీ రోహిత్ వేముల ఇన్సిడెంట్ జరిగేసి 7 years కంప్లీట్ అయ్యే సందర్భంలో ఈ ఫంక్షన్ ని ఇంత గ్రాండ్ గా చేస్తున్న శబరి ఆధ్వర్యంలో జరుగుతున్నందుకు చాలా చాలా హ్యాపీగా ఉంది.
Under the able guidance and leadership of President Shabari Rajan, this event has been organized at such a huge scale, and I'm very happy that you all have gathered here to commemorate.
అలానే ఏఎస్ఏ మెంబర్స్ అందరికీ నా జై భీములు మరోసారి.
And Jai Bhim to all the members of Ambedkar Students Association.
ఇంకా రోహిత్ వేముల గురించి మాట్లాడుకోవాలంటే 7 years అయినా కూడా ఇంతవరకు జస్టిస్ రాలేదు, కానీ వచ్చింది త్వరలోనే. ఎవరు ధైర్యం కోల్పోవద్దు, జస్టిస్ అంతా మన వైపునే ఉంది, తప్పకుండా జస్టిస్ జరుగుద్ది.
Justice is on our side. Despite 7 years of relentless struggles, we have not been able to we have not been able to get justice for Rohith Vemula, but we should not lose hope, as justice continues to be on our side, and we will win, surely.
మన బహుజనుల దళిత బహుజనుల జీవితాలు బాగుపడాలంటే ఈ స్టూడెంట్స్ అందరూ రాజకీయాల్లోకి రావాలని నా ఆశ. అట్లాగా ప్రతి ఒక్కరు కూడా రాజకీయాల్లోకి తప్పకుండా రండి, మనమే పరిపాలించుకుందాం మన దేశాన్ని.
I request all, I would urge all the Dalit Bahujan students to come forward and participate actively in politics and be active part of the political and actively participate in the political life. We need to rule our own country, and it is the Dalit Bahujans who need to rule this country.
ఈ దేశంలో ఎస్సీ ఎస్టీ బీసీలు మైనార్టీస్ అందరం దేశం మొదటి నుంచి మూలవాసులు. మనం వీళ్ళు ఈ అగ్ర కులాలలో మూలవాసులు కాదు, వాళ్ళు ఎక్కడి నుంచో వచ్చిన వాళ్ళు పరిపాలించడం ఏంటి, మన దేశాన్ని మనమే పరిపాలించుకునేటట్లుగా మనం చేసుకున్నాము. ఆ బాట మనం నడుద్దామనేసి నా ఆశ, నడవాలనేసి పిల్లలందరూ కూడా.
Dalit Bahujans are the longest community of this country, and all the upper caste communities are what we call as outsiders who have come into this country. So we Dalit Bahujans should take lead and rule this country.
మీరు రాజకీయాల్లోకి ఈ పిల్లల స్టూడెంట్స్ ఎందుకు రావాలని అనుకుంటున్నారంటే, ఆ రోజు రోహిత్ వేముల ఇష్యూ జరిగినాక ఢిల్లీలో మనం 13 రోజులు ఉన్నాము. కానీ ప్రతి ఒక్క బీజేపీ వాళ్ళని తప్పితే ప్రతి ఒక్క ఎంపీని ఎమ్మెల్యేని దాదాపు కలిసాం మనం. ఎందుకంటే మన ఈ రోహిత్ వేముల ఇష్యూని, ఈ క్యాస్ట్ డిస్క్రిమినేషన్ని మన పార్లమెంట్లో అక్కడ వాళ్ళ వాయిస్ ద్వారా వినిపించాలనే ఉద్దేశంతో మనం అందరం కలిసాము. అందుకని మీరందరూ కూడా రాజకీయాల్లోకి వచ్చారనుకోండి, మనం ఒకళ్ళ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళి కలిసే పని లేదు, ఒకళ్ళని ఆశించే పని లేదు. మనమే మాట్లాడుకోవచ్చు, మనమే పాలించుకోవచ్చు పరిపాలన.
During the Rohith Vemula movement for 12 to 13 days, we visited almost every MP and MLA in Delhi, barring the few BJP MPs then. And then I have realized that if we ourselves from our communities, the Dalit Bahujan communities, manage to create leaders and have them in leading positions in the political parties and in the parliament, then we do not have to go for any other help from any other members. So our representatives will be sitting there in the parliament and talking about our issues.
రోహిత్ వేములను స్మరించుకుంటున్న ఈ సమయంలో కుల వివక్షకు గురయ్యే ప్రాణాలు విడిచిన ఇంకొంతమంది విద్యార్థులను మనం గుర్తు చేసుకోవాలి తప్పకుండా. పులియాల రాజు, మాదారి వెంకటేష్, సెంధిల్, రష్మి రంజన్, సూర్యప్రతాప్, వీళ్ళందరూ కూడా కుల వివక్షతో యూనివర్సిటీలో చనిపోయినలే కదా. అంటే ఎంత పిహెచ్డి స్టేజ్ కాడికి వచ్చేసేసి మారుమూల ప్రాంతాల నుంచి, పల్లెల నుంచి పిహెచ్డి దాకా వచ్చేసేసి పిల్లలు చంపబడితే ఆ తల్లిదండ్రుల పరిస్థితి ఏంటి? అసలు బీజేపీ వాళ్ళకి కానీ ఈ అగ్ర కులాల వాళ్ళకి కానీ ఎవరు పట్టరు, ఎవరు ఎట్లా చచ్చిపోతే మేమే బతకాలి, మేమే చేయాలనేసి పరిపాలిస్తున్నారు అన్నమాట వాళ్ళు. ఇవన్నీ కూడా మనం తీసివేయాలంటే ఈ స్టూడెంట్స్ మొత్తం రాజకీయాల్లోకి రావాలని నా ఆశ.
In this occasion, when we remember Rohith Vemula, we also need to remember other students who have been institutionally murdered in this very university, like Puliyala Raju, Madhari Venkatesh, Rashmi Ranjan Suna, Sendil Kumar, who have come from remote villages across India, left their homelands and have come here to study and have faced brutal caste violence and which has led to their institutional murder eventually. And this is an occasion to remember them and their struggles as well. And nobody seems to be bothered about the lives that are lost. The BJP does not care. So I'm repeatedly urging the young people who are sitting here and the young population of the country to join active political life.
ఇక్కడ యూనివర్సిటీకి వచ్చినాక నాకు ఒక విషయం తెలిసింది. కేరళలోని కేఆర్ నారాయణన్ కాలేజీలో గత 40 రోజులుగా విద్యార్థులు కుల వివక్షకు వ్యతిరేకంగా పోరాటం చేస్తున్నారంట. ఆ విద్యార్థులకు నేను పూర్తి మద్దతు తెలియజేస్తున్నాను. వారితో పాటు నేను కూడా కేరళ వెళ్ళి అక్కడ ధర్నాలో పాల్గొంటానని ఈ సభాముఖంగా ప్రకటిస్తున్నాను.
I stand in solidarity with the protesting students of KR Narayanan Film Institute who have been fighting against caste violence for over 40 days now. And I want to share my complete solidarity, and I announce here that I would be present with them in the protest in Kerala.
ఇక్కడ కేరళ విద్యార్థులు ఉన్నారు కదా, 40 రోజుల నుంచి మీరు అట్లా ధర్నా చేసుకున్నంటే నేను గుర్తు రాలేదా? నాకు ఎందుకు ఫోన్ చేయలేదు మీరు? నాకు హెల్త్ బాగోపోయినా కూడా స్టూడెంట్స్ విషయంలో నేను 10 ఉన్నా కూడా లేచి వస్తాను. నేను గుర్తుంచుకోండి, మీరంతా నా బిడ్డలనే. రోహిత్ వేముల ఇదైనప్పుడే నేను చెప్పాను, మీరు కూడా నాకు రోహిత్ వేములాలేనని అన్నప్పుడు నేను అమ్మగా మీకు ఎందుకు గుర్తు రాలేదు? 40 days నుంచి చేస్తుంటే నాకు ఒక్క రోజు కూడా నాకు ఫోన్ చేయలేదు. ఇప్పుడు నేను తెలుస్తున్నాను కాబట్టి నేను వెళ్తాను. వాళ్ళు పిలవకపోయినా నేను వెళ్ళేసి అక్కడ కూర్చుంటాను.
I wish the Kerala students who are sitting here had informed me about this ongoing protest that's been happening for over 40 days. Even when I have not kept well, even when I was bedridden, I've always joined in solidarity for student movements, and I've always repeatedly reiterated that after Rohith's death, I see my child in each one of you, and I would like to stand with all of you in your struggles. So even if you have not invited me, I would like to join the students' movement that's happening in Kerala.
నాన్నలు మీ అందరికి నేను చూద్దాను. నేను మీకోసమే బ్రతుకుతున్నాను. రోహిత్ వేముల ఇదైనాక నేను ఎప్పుడో చనిపోయేదాన్ని. కానీ ఇంకా నా బిడ్డలు ఇలాగా క్యాస్ట్ డిస్క్రిమినేషన్తో ఇంకెంతమంది చనిపోతారు అనేసి మీకోసం నేను బ్రతుకున్నాను. ఆ మాట అందరూ గుర్తు పెట్టుకోండి. ఏదైనా కర్ణాటక క్యాస్ట్ గురించి జరిగితే మాత్రం చదువు అంటే నాకు తెలియదు అనుకోండి. చదువు నేను చెప్పలేను, నన్ను పిలవరు మీరైనా కూడా. ఇక్కడ క్యాస్ట్ విషయం ఏదైనా జరిగితే మాత్రం తప్పకుండా నాకు ఇన్ఫార్మ్ చేయండి, నేను వస్తాను.
I'm alive and living because after Rohith Vemula's death, I would have ended my life as well. But I am alive and fighting because I see my child in each one of you. So whenever there is an instance of caste discrimination, please let me know, and I would like to join in solidarity. And I would please consider me like your mother.
నాకు బాగోదేమని మీరు అసలు ఎప్పుడు బాధపడదు. నాకు ఎప్పుడు బాగోదు. రోహిత్ వేముల ఇదైంది కానీ నాకు ఏ రోజు బాగుండదు, ఏ గంట బాగుండదు. అయినా కూడా నేను మీకోసం నేను ఏదైనా చేయగలను, ఏదైనా చేస్తాను. నేను అది గుర్తుంచుకోండి.
Please do not hesitate to get in touch with me or reach out to me thinking that I am not keeping well or my health is not good. Since Rohith passed away, each moment and each hour has been difficult for me, and I am not well in that sense. So, but when I'm even despite all these, because I am alive to take forward this moment, I would please remember to call me in any protest or gathering or any solidarity movements that you organize now on.
భీమరావు గారు ఈ విషయంగా ఈ రోజులో సగం దూరం వచ్చేసేసి వాళ్ళ మదర్కి బాగోలేదని వెనక్కి తిరిగి వెళ్ళారు. ఆ సార్ ఫోన్లో ఏం చెప్పారంటే, రోహిత్కి జై, అందరికి నా జై భీములు తెలుపమ్మా అని చెప్పారు.
Bhimrao sir was supposed to be here at the meeting, and he travelled halfway to come over here, but then he had to go back and return because his mother has not been keeping well. When I spoke to him over the phone, he said that convey my solidarity and Jai Bhim to everyone here, and he is here even while he is not here.
అందరికి నా జై భీములు. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
रोहित वेमुला।
Thank you, Radhika Amma. Even after losing your son, you have stood here as a symbol of hope, courage, and resistance, and you continue inspiring us every single day. Thank you, Amma. Now we have with us Donta Prashant Anna, who was one of the other Dalit students who has rusticated and socially boycotted from this campus 7 years ago. Even after fighting the entire might of the state apparatus, Donta Prashant Anna is now working as an assistant professor at Azim Premji Institute in Bangalore.
Nil salam, nil salam, nil salam, nil salam.
I request Donda Prashant Anna to share a few words with us.
Jai Bhim everyone. Johar Rohith Vemula. Johar Rohith Vemula. Rohith Vemula ko nil salam. Nil salam. Nil salam. Nila nila nil salam. Nil salam. Nil salam. On 17th January 2016, exactly at these hours, when all of us were there at Velivada, when we found that our brother Rohith was not there, and also Radhika was calling us on the day. Somehow Rohith is not picking up the call. Nana, can you trace where he is? And we also were so much engaged in the struggle at that point in time that we, each of us, could not keep a track of where we are. All of us were engaged in some or the other activity. And it was that particular month, and I still recollect we were doing our DRCs, Doctoral Research Committee reports. We had to submit. We have to do our work in progress seminars, everything by being there in Velivada. And we were working from Velivada, and we were presenting from Velivada. And at that point in time, Rohith also was going ahead with his work in progress thing. And we thought he must be there in Umana's room, because he said he was looking for some material over there. And upon that, when we all went there, and when we knocked the door wasn't opened. And when we knocked it several times, it didn't get open. And we didn't understand any reason, because for us, Rohith was someone who was very brave. For us, Rohith was someone who rebelled against any form, anything that was there at that point in time, whose voices were so important that they could transform the functioning of an organization. And Rohith was someone who was seen as the leader of Ambedkar Students Association at that point in time. Hence, we were not quite sure what was happening, why was the door not open. And then when we called for security, when security opened the door, that led us to this shock of seeing Rohith being no longer there with us physically. But when we all have assembled at NRS, and when that letter was read for the first time, and those words were, when everyone heard those words, that the value of a man has been reduced to his immediate identity, never was a man treated as a mind or thing. When these words have spread across, Rohith lives with us. He lives with us through his thoughts. He lives with us through what he stated, because even till date, never the value of a person is still reduced to their immediate identities. Just yesterday, one student was institutionally murdered because he was born into a particular community, because he was a Dalit. And I was keenly listening to Azad's speech while I was coming here. We will still recollect those points in time when Muzaffarnagar Baki Hai documentary was supposed to be screened here. When Nakul Singh Sahwane's documentary, which exposed all the kinds of tensions that were existing and the kind of communal divide atmosphere that was existing at Muzaffarnagar. And that was the main bone of contention of this entire issue. Look, these Dalits are speaking about Muzaffarnagar. They are speaking about communal divide. They are speaking about caste divide that is persisting here. And hence, ABVP has launched an assault on Ambedkar Students Association. It has not launched that assault singularly. It can never do that. It has launched this vociferous assault with the assistance of the state. Can someone imagine the entire ministry, two ministries, two cabinet ministers responding against Ambedkar Students Association, which has no political affiliation. The kind of force that was put in to suppress this particular organization was so enormous, right? And yet this organization survives in this campus even till date. It survives because it stood to the cause of self-respect. The cause of self-respect which Azad led, the cause of self-respect with which Madhava sir, who is a retired IAS officer, he is not an ordinary retired IAS officer. He was the Chief Secretary of the state of Andhra Pradesh, who fought for the cause of Dalits when he was still in office. And even post-retirement, on the very same day, after hearing the news of the institutional murder of Rohith Vemula, he came out to this university in the chill midnight hours and came and stood with us throughout the night. And not just throughout the night, it has been 8 years. For these 8 years of journey, he is still with us. And JOBY sir, Lakshminarayan sir, the SC/ST faculty forum, concerned teachers, irrespective of caste, what Rohith had said was that the value of a man has been reduced to his immediate identity. They all fought to annihilate that identity. They all fought beyond their identities, right? There are many faculties who stood with us despite having not born to this particular caste, despite having certain kind of ideological differences. But what struck them the most was that it is the cause of humanity, humanness that Rohith was speaking in his last letter, right? When someone speaks to that core, it is that spirit of that letter that shook the conscience of many of the minds of this nation. However, what it could not do was it could not disturb the casteist minds of this campus of this country. There are a few who cling to this power. There were a few who have still continued these casteist practices in this campus. Apparao, who's no longer the Vice Chancellor, when he was still the Vice Chancellor, the kind of harassment that he did, the way in which he pointedly tried to punish the faculty and students was enormous. Now, despite that, if Ambedkar Students Association, I am very specifically stating this Ambedkar Students Association, if Ambedkar Students Association chose not to meet the Vice Chancellor till he was there in office, that is a symbol of self-respect, which is you very might hold the power or the position as a Vice Chancellor of the university, but we refuse to consider your position of authority. Speaking against that position of authority was very important, which Ambedkar Students Association took that call, right? Just a few years before, around 2014, when Apara was not there in the office, there was another Vice Chancellor. There was another regime altogether. Yet, the nature of the Brahminical institutions does not change with a change in regimes. It subsumes with these regimes as they change, right? And we had to fight a lot to seek justice for Madari Venkatesh, to seek justice for Pulyal Raju, to seek justice for Senthil, to seek justice for Balraju. All of them were institutional murder, irrespective of the regimes that were persisting on this campus, that were persisting at center or state. And when we were fighting at one point in time, when we were fighting to implement OBC reservations, because for us, our entry itself comes from that magnitude of pain, suffering, with historical denial, and it is only the affirmative action policies that at least grants us a little entry into this campus. And if these affirmative action policies remain unimplemented, then there is a whole generation which is wiped to access the higher education of these universities. It is at that point in time when Ambedkar Students Association fought to implement the OBC reservation. There was a vice chancellor. We were fighting, we had fought, and we made sure that there was a third list of counseling opened. At that point in time, he called me into the office and said, Prashant, once you're done with this course, what would be left is the statistics. That what all has got implemented, what all has not got implemented. There'll be nothing that you would gain. But now today, we all as members of Ambedkar Students Association would like to point at any person who speaks like that. It is these statistics that are important for us. For you, they may be 2-3 seats, but for us, they are lives of 2-3 generations. Right? And now, holding on to these statistics, holding on to these papers, holding on to these records, it is a historic legacy of Ambedkar Students Association, which started with JOBY, who is now the Vice Chancellor of Nagarjuna University in Andhra Pradesh, which started with Nagapagar Sundar Raju, and which continued over the years, right? And so this is what is the importance of organizations that are centered on the principles of self-respect. What those 10 Dalit research scholars had taught us, we still continue to live on those ideals. And wherever we grow, that is because of Ambedkar Students Association, that is because of Ambedkar. If there are any failures that are there with us, they are individual failures, but all of our successes are definitely, they belong to Ambedkar Students Association. They belong to the path laid down by Baba Saheb Ambedkar. They belong to the community. And what Rohith did was, today, I mean, I was coming from Bangalore to here today. When I was having a bird's view of the geography, it is so vast. It is spread so vast. Now, when I have asked a student who at that point in time was in 7th class, have you all heard about Rohith Vemula? They said we may not have heard about Rohith Vemula, but we definitely have heard about Rohith Vemula. Right? Now when they hear about Rohith Vemula, they hear the words of Rohith Vemula. Thus, they wanted all of us to get suppressed. The entire actions of them, they wanted us to, when they went and met Dattatreya, when they went and met Smriti Irani, when all of them had written countless letters to the university, when Apparao acted on those letters to perpetrate injustice against all of us, their only intention was that by punishing these people, we can in fact suppress the thoughts that go through and nurture through them, which they cannot do it. Because we are a community who experienced countless murders, and despite experiencing these countless murders, our community has stood for seeking for justice. They have never compromised. We had Sundur, we had Karanchedu, we had countless atrocities, and we still have faculties who still continue to go to villages despite the kind of assault that they have. And we are done almost, I don't think there's any time left. I have already taken a longer time, but I definitely would like to thank, and this, and in fact, I mean, I feel liberated today. I feel liberated today in a sense because I myself took a decision not to speak on this campus. Not to speak on this campus till a certain point in time. Job is a secondary thing, but PhD was a primary thing. Now, precisely because the random accusations that are pelted against all of those who are involved in self-respect movements, that they're gone, their lives are gone. They just do this politics for the sake of doing them. They have ulterior motives. We have no ulterior motives, but an image we had inherited, right? And for us, doing research was not an ordinary thing. And I had my own failures, I definitely acknowledge. But the support that was there from my supervisor, Professor G. Dev, was enormous. I don't think anyone could stand two consecutive vice chancellors complaining against her student that you try and control, but never was I chained, because she knows she studies against those chaining, those bonded circuits. If there was someone else, I would have been thrown out of this university long back. And on the other hand, the second point was that for us, research needs continuous engagement. In 2015, when I personally took a decision that I will focus on my research. But it was this university administration which had dragged me in. In fact, Rohith was someone who was to lead the organization, who had the commitment to lead the organization. He was leading the organization in an exceptional, brilliant manner. But they had pulled us back in. And in front of the loss, the physical loss of Rohith, nothing mattered for us in the next couple of years. Whenever we were sent to jail, nor when there was lathi charge, nor when there were cases filed, nothing mattered to us, because that loss is much more greater than all these countless number of cases, being sent to jail, all these harassments. But it did hamper us at a research level, but that didn't stop us from finishing what we were supposed to do here. And hence, I chose to speak on this day, whereas we were working for work in progress from Velivada, and we continue to work, and we continue to speak where they wanted to suppress our voices, but we cannot be suppressed. Because Rohith stands as an inspiration for us, Ambedkar stands as an inspiration for us, all of them stands as an inspiration for us, all of those who face cases stand as an inspiration for us, all of those who still stand with us stands as an inspiration for us. Now with this, I definitely would like to thank Justice for Rohith Vemula and specifically Ambedkar Students Association for leading this cause, right? Leading this cause was important. Irrespective of the cause associated with it, Ambedkar Students Association had been leading this. And one final word, which is that it never remained with an individual. This movement never remained with an individual. It remained with a committee. It remained with the organization. It continued as and when the leadership changed. And if so many people have gathered here today, it is because of that continuity in change of leadership and carrying over the legacy that mattered the most. I hope, as Ambedkar said, you carry the caravan ahead with the kind of self-respect ideals that all of us seniors and all of the members and Rohith has given to all of us. With this, I'd like to thank for giving this opportunity. I'd like to thank everyone for standing with this cause. Jai Bhim.
Thank you, Prashant Anna, for the fiery address. You continue to inspire us. Throughout the last 2 weeks, when we were organizing events leading up to this day, we were remembering you, and today we pledge our continued support to you in this struggle. At this juncture, the Justice for Rohith Vemula movement also expresses its solidarity to Bairi Naresh, an Ambedkarite who has been imprisoned for expressing rationalist and essentially Ambedkarite views on religious superstition. We condemn the Telangana state and the castes who have hounded him and threatened to kill him for expressing his views. Chandrashekhar Azad now would like to express his solidarity to the protesting students at K.R. Narayan.
Again, thank you. केरला के K.R. नारायण नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ विजुअल साइंस एंड आर्ट्स में स्टूडेंट्स के साथ बहुत भद्दा व्यवहार किया जा रहा है। जो रिजर्व सीटें कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ने हमें दी हैं वो भी नहीं दी जा रही है। जाति के आधार पर बच्चों के सीट्स को भी जो है पूरा नहीं किया जा रहा है, एडमिशन नहीं किया जा रहा है। इंस्टीट्यूशन के डायरेक्टर शंकर मोहन ने इस इंस्टीट्यूट के सफाई कर्मचारियों से अपने घर के बाथरूम साफ करवाए, उन कर्मचारियों को ग्लव्स भी नहीं दिए। ये दोनों बुनियादी मुद्दों पे वहां 43 डेज से आंदोलन चल रहा है। हम इस आंदोलन का समर्थन करते हैं और प्रयास करेंगे कि जल्दी आंदोलन जीत के साथ खत्म हो। आप सभी के लिए मंगल कामनाएं, इस अपील के साथ कि कोई भी परेशानी आए टूटना नहीं है, हम सब लोग आपके साथ हैं। आप लोग लड़ते रहिए, मिलकर लड़ेंगे इस लड़ाई को। जय भीम, जय जोहार।